I call them man bags. And in that case, at Göbekli Tepe, we know they're at least 11,600 years old.
Have suggested that these objects with handles are similar to ones pictured some 7,000 years later in Assyrian art.
What if a tiny, mysterious symbol carved in stone holds secrets spanning continents and centuries?
Who's holding this strange bag in his hand. And it's just a fact that those identical bags are found in ancient Sumer.
This curious handbag-shaped carving appears from ancient Sumer to Mesoamerican temples, from Turkey's Göbekli Tepe to Assyrian palaces, always the same.
The ancient Sumerians were not the only culture fascinated by handbags. Their neighbors, the Assyrians, also used the symbol.
Is it just a simple bag, or something far deeper? Scholars debate its meaning, from sacred rituals to cosmic signs. Join us as we unravel the astonishing story behind this ancient symbol that connects cultures across time and space. Ancient handbag mystery. Across ancient civilizations, one mysterious symbol keeps appearing, a shape that looks exactly like a modern handbag. This motif has been found carved into stone, painted on walls, and sculpted in temples by cultures separated by oceans and centuries. From the ruins of Mesopotamia to the sacred sites of Mesoamerica, the same structured object appears over and over again, always in the hands of gods, priests, or figures of high importance.
The handbag-like carvings can be found in ancient carvings worldwide.
In Mesopotamian art, especially among the Sumerians, Assyrians, and Babylonians, this handbag appears in the hands of divine beings. It's often featured alongside the Tree of Life, another powerful symbol that represents connection, wisdom, and the cycle of existence. These ancient bags were not ornamental. Many scholars interpret them as containers of sacred knowledge, divine essence, or cosmic power. A prime example can be found in the Assyrian collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. There, a beautifully carved stone object about a foot wide is displayed. It is shaped exactly like the ancient handbag motif and features the Tree of Life etched into its surface. Museum notes suggest that this object may have been a counterweight for a scale, supported by signs of wear on the handle. Nearby lies a smaller version with a broken handle, also resembling the same design.
Finally come to grips with the idea that extraterrestrials had something to do with our development.
What makes this motif so intriguing is its global reach. Nearly identical symbols appear in the ancient artwork of the Olmec and Toltec cultures in Mesoamerica. These civilizations, known for their highly symbolic and ceremonial practices, often included the handbag motif in depictions of their gods and ritual scenes. Even further afield, the symbol appears in ancient Indian temple carvings and Southeast Asian architecture. In places like Indonesia, this same form shows up in religious stone reliefs. Beyond Asia, echoes of this symbol have also been traced in the traditions of the Maori and Aboriginal peoples, showing that this motif spans not only continents, but vastly different belief systems and histories. Despite differences in style, region, and belief, these cultures all placed this handbag-like symbol in sacred or ceremonial contexts. Some believe it represents a universal icon tied to knowledge, spiritual power, or divine authority, suggesting that certain core ideas might have been shared across early human societies. Ancient baskets, global wisdom. For centuries, historians and archaeologists have been baffled by a recurring motif found in ancient civilizations across the globe, a mysterious, pouch-like object often referred to as the handbag symbol. From the megalithic wonders of Göbekli Tepe to the intricate hieroglyphs of Egypt, this enigmatic icon appears repeatedly.
And we know that the artists at Göbekli Tepe were perfectly capable of indicating woven designs,
sparking debates and fueling speculation about its true meaning. Is it just a coincidence or a lost thread connecting humanity's earliest cultures? Let's journey first to the lush, verdant islands of New Zealand, where the rich oral traditions of the Maori people offer a captivating parallel. Central to their mythology is the legend of the three baskets, or kete. These aren't just any baskets, they are divine vessels, brimming with profound knowledge essential for humankind. According to Maori lore, Tane, the revered god of the forest, undertook a perilous ascent to the heavens to retrieve these sacred baskets for humanity. Each basket held a distinct category of vital wisdom. One contained knowledge of the natural world, another held ancestral rituals and traditions, and the third encompassed both good and evil, representing the duality of existence. Tane's ambitious quest was not without opposition. His jealous brother, Wiro, attempted to thwart him at every turn. However, with the crucial assistance of other deities like Tauhiri Matea, god of weather, and Parawera Nui, Tane ultimately triumphed, bringing these invaluable gifts down to the earthly realm. What makes this Maori legend so compelling is the striking resemblance between the shapes of their traditional woven or carved baskets and the handbag symbols etched in stone thousands of miles away at sites like Göbekli Tepe.
Yet another says, and yet you omit saying anything about the pillar with those etched handbags.
Unlike the static stone carvings found in other cultures, the Maori baskets are dynamic. They live within vibrant stories passed down through countless generations. They embody the very transmission of divine wisdom and practical knowledge, instructing people on how to plant crops, navigate by the stars, and construct essential canoes. This remarkable similarity in form, spanning vast geographical distances and millennia, suggests something profound. Could the pouch shape represent a universal symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and the intrinsic connection between the earthly and the divine? The baskets, in this context, aren't just containers for physical items. They are vessels for intangible gifts, ideas, teachings, and the invaluable cultural heritage that defines a people. This archetype of a container holding sacred knowledge speaks to a deep, universal human impulse. It symbolizes the act of holding and sharing life's most valuable treasures, not just material possessions, but the very essence of understanding and existence. The Maori tradition significantly expands our understanding of this ancient handbag motif.
Multiple cultures around the world have similar illustrations of handbag-like objects,
revealing how it could carry layered meanings far beyond its simple physical form. Global mystery etched in stone. Imagine a symbol so profound, so universally recognized, that it appears across vastly different cultures, separated by immense distances and millennia.
And that is, they will look at similarities of some kind of object between cultures, and they'll assume a link.
This isn't a work of fiction, but an enduring archaeological puzzle, the mysterious handbag. This curious object, clutched by figures in ancient stone carvings, transcends the conventional timelines and geographical boundaries of human history. From the enigmatic pillars of Göbekli Tepe to the intricate reliefs of ancient Assyria and the monumental sculptures of the Olmec civilization, its consistent presence demands a closer look, challenging our understanding of early human interaction and shared knowledge. Our journey into this captivating mystery begins over 12,000 years ago in southeastern Turkey, at the breathtaking site of Göbekli Tepe. Here, amidst the T-shaped megaliths that predate agriculture itself, zoomorphic figures are depicted holding this unmistakable handbag, or bucket.
Does the mysterious handbag imply a global connection that rivals our interconnected modern world?
It's an artifact that seems astonishingly out of place in a period we typically associate with rudimentary survival. Yet, there it is, a silent question mark carved into stone, prompting us to reconsider the sophistication of these early civilizations. Fast forward thousands of years and across continents, the plot thickens considerably. In ancient Mesopotamia, the powerful Assyrians, renowned for their detailed stone reliefs, consistently portray their deities and winged genies grasping this very same handbag. The visual parallels are striking. The form, the handle, the manner in which it is held, almost as if a universal visual lexicon were being transmitted through time. But the mystery doesn't conclude in the Middle East. Traveling across the vast expanse of the Atlantic, we encounter the equally enigmatic Olmecs of ancient Mesoamerica.
As the Olmecs. It's considered to be the earliest high culture of Central America.
Flourishing centuries before the Maya and Aztecs, the Olmecs carved colossal heads and intricate figures, and astonishingly, among their symbolic repertoire, the handbag reappears. Held by their elite, their shamans, or their gods, it serves as a direct visual echo of symbols found thousands of miles away and in completely different epochs. What could possibly explain this remarkable confluence of imagery? Is it an extraordinary coincidence, or something far more profound? Researchers and scholars have offered compelling interpretations that aim to unravel this deep historical knot. One theory, highlighted by Archaeology World, suggests a profound cosmic connection: the semicircular handle representing the hemisphere of the sky and the square body symbolizing the earth. This proposes an incredibly sophisticated understanding of cosmology and a shared symbolic language for fundamental concepts, extending deep into humanity's past. Graham Hancock, in his work Magicians of the Gods, posits an even more daring possibility: that these containers might symbolize the office of an initiatic brotherhood, far-traveled and deeply ancient, with roots reaching back into the remotest prehistory. This vision suggests a hidden network of knowledgeable individuals, preserving and transmitting ancient wisdom across the globe, influencing nascent civilizations and hinting at a shared, advanced culture predating accepted historical timelines. Perhaps the most tangible clues come from the Assyrians themselves. Akkadian names for these objects, Bandudu, bucket, and Mulilu, purifier, strongly suggest a connection to rituals of purification, cleansing, or the carrying of sacred substances.
To be fair, ancient architects does identify these so-called handbags as buckets.
The pine cone. Forget everything you thought you knew about ancient symbols. What if a simple image, repeated across millennia and continents, held a profound secret about our past? We're talking about a mysterious motif, a figure holding what looks like a handbag and a pine cone, or a similar object. This isn't just art, it's a puzzle waiting to be solved.
And maybe using the pine cone to splash either water or pollen from the bucket onto a tree.
Some experts believe this recurring imagery points to an ancient purificatory ritual. Imagine wise sages, captured in stone, performing a sacred act with these objects, a purifier and a bucket. But this explanation, while plausible, feels a bit too simple for a symbol that echoes across such vast periods and space. Could it be more? Some intriguing theories suggest the pine cone might represent the pineal gland, a small endocrine gland in the brain often linked to spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Or, even more abstractly, it could be a powerful depiction of creation or divine power itself, a universal symbol understood by diverse ancient cultures. Fast forward to around 700 BCE to the magnificent Nineveh carvings in ancient Assyria. Here we see winged figures, often referred to as apkalu, or sages, clutching two distinct items, a small bag and a cone. The cone is commonly thought to be from a pine or palm tree, dipped into the bag during ceremonies. These weren't your average satchels. They likely contained potent, sacred substances like pollen or holy water. The carvings vividly show these figures using the bag and cone to bless people, trees, and sacred spaces, hinting at profound spiritual or religious significance. These scenes aren't relegated to obscure corners either. They dominate important spaces like throne rooms and temples, emphasizing their crucial role. Whether crafted from leather, metal, or plant fibers, these bags were undeniably central to religious or spiritual acts. But here's where it gets truly mind-bending: the uncanny resemblance of these Assyrian bags to the ones depicted at Göbekli Tepe, a site dating back 12,000 years. The sheer temporal chasm between these two locations makes it incredibly difficult to explain how such a specific design could persist for so long, spanning continents. It challenges our understanding of ancient communication and cultural transmission, deep into the jungles of Mexico, to the heart of the ancient Olmec civilization. Here, we encounter something strikingly similar. We see figures often described as a giant man, holding what looks like a pine cone, or even the eye of a comet. In the Olmec version, this appears as a ball with a tail, positioned on the man's shoulders behind his head. The man's body, with its accented roundness, even seems to depict the round earth, complete with lines of latitude formed by his clothing. the concept of a comet is further reinforced by this same round figure appearing within a serpent, where he becomes the eye of a comet, and the serpent, the coma. Both the Assyrian and Olmec depictions also show figures with one arm up and bent, and the other arm down, a pose also seen in the art of Ugarit and statues related to Baal. This shared posture across disparate cultures is yet another layer of mystery. Some radical interpretations suggest these symbols are far more than just religious rituals or abstract concepts. They propose that the bag represents measurement in all forms. Its square shape, for example, mirrors the grid used when measuring the globe in longitude and latitude. The star on the wrist of the Olmec giant, representing the pole star, further emphasizes celestial measurement, the pivotal point around which the heavens appear to turn. The way the bag hangs, like weights on a balance scale, even suggests the measurement of weight. The V shape formed by the chest area of some figures, along with curved headgear, is interpreted by some as depicting a crater or a broken earth. This idea is even echoed in Assyrian art, where a giant holds a cup, also thought to symbolize a crater. These theories propose that both the Assyrian and Olmec narratives detail the specifics of a comet impact at the North Pole, the very location from which all measurement is traditionally determined. Could these ancient symbols be a chilling warning or a historical record of a catastrophic event, meticulously passed down through generations and across civilizations? Decoding the ancient Egyptian handbag. Imagine stepping back in time to ancient Egypt, a civilization where writing wasn't just communication, but an intricate art form. For nearly 4,000 years, hieroglyphs reigned supreme, a visual language etched onto papyrus scrolls, carved into the majestic stone walls of tombs and temples, and even inscribed on everyday objects. These weren't mere squiggles, they were profound symbols representing words, sounds, and complex ideas. The Greeks revered them as sacred words, while the Egyptians themselves called them the gods' words, a testament to their profound spiritual significance. But among these thousands of captivating symbols, one in particular stands out, sparking endless fascination and debate. A tiny, detailed image that bears a striking resemblance to a modern-day handbag, complete with a curved handle. This peculiar glyph, often translated as bag or altar offering, pops up everywhere. You'll find it meticulously carved next to the names of powerful pharaohs, nestled within the intricate cartouches that encircle royal titles on temple walls. Sometimes, it's even depicted hanging from a priest's belt, strongly suggesting it held sacred items like fragrant incense or essential ritual tools. At first glance, it seems straightforward, a practical container for sacred objects. However, the story of this handbag glyph
Carvings of handbags are found in many ancient temples around the world.
Is far more complex than a simple pouch. Intriguing theories from some scholars propose a deeper, more symbolic meaning. What if this wasn't just a bag, but a miniature tent or a portable shrine? Picture this. The curved top of the glyph could mimic the elegant poles of a tent, while its flat base might represent draped cloth or animal skins, forming the shelter. This interpretation opens up a fascinating connection to nomadic dwellings across the globe, like the teepees of North America or the yurts of Central Asia. Could this tiny icon be shrinking a sacred shelter into a fingertip-sized symbol? If this theory holds true, the Egyptian handbag hieroglyph transforms into something truly profound, a powerful symbol of a dwelling for the divine, a portable sacred space that priests carried with them. This ambiguity adds layers to the symbol's mystery, showcasing how a single, simple shape could encapsulate both the practical and the spiritual, the mundane and the miraculous within Egyptian culture. It's a powerful reminder of how symbols possess layered meanings, evolving and deepening across time and place. The ancient Egyptian handbag is more than just an image. It's a doorway into understanding how these ancient civilizations viewed their world, their gods, and the sacred objects that bound them together. A Mesoamerican mystery. Across ancient stone carvings from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, one object keeps showing up, an odd little handbag. But wait, why were ancient people across the globe, with no known contact, carving the same boxy-looking pouch into their monuments? Coincidence? or something more? In the thick jungles of southern Mexico, long before the rise of skyscrapers or smartphones, the Olmecs, and later the Maya, left behind stunning stone carvings and towering temples. Among their many detailed works are human-like figures, some godlike, some earthly, striding with determination. But look closely, and you'll notice something strange hanging from their hands. Small, box-shaped bags. These carvings date from around 1200 to 400 BCE. Strangely enough, they resemble similar stone reliefs from Assyria and even Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey. There, too, figures hold nearly identical handbags. Yet these two regions, southern Mexico and the ancient Near East, were oceans apart, with no evidence of any trade routes, ship travel, or shared language. So, how did this mysterious symbol appear in both places? Could it really just be a coincidence? In Mesoamerica, these bag-like objects weren't called handbags in the modern sense, of course. Instead, they were often ceremonial pouches or containers made from natural materials like fiber, leather, or even carved stone. These items possibly held seeds, sacred herbs, or tools used in rituals. They may have also represented power, knowledge, or status. But the shape, the design, the posture of the figures holding them, all eerily familiar to their Middle Eastern counterparts. Some researchers believe these similarities point to a shared symbolic language, something deeply human and instinctual that spanned continents, perhaps representing the gift of life, the power to create, or the control over nature's elements. Others propose more controversial theories, suggesting lost civilizations, global travelers, or even ancient knowledge networks that modern history hasn't yet uncovered. Still, there's no hard evidence connecting these distant cultures. No ancient GPS, no signed treaties, just stone and mystery. The sage's secret satchel. It's time to unlock a secret. For thousands of years, across countless cultures, a peculiar symbol keeps appearing in ancient art, a seemingly innocuous handbag. Imagine stumbling upon ancient carvings that seem to defy time. Alongside these enigmatic handbags,
Ancient Sumerians were more than familiar with handbags, or perhaps objects that modern people perceive.
you find figures that look eerily like they're holding cell phones, sporting helmets, or even operating what appear to be laptops or spacesuits. These aren't isolated incidents. They're patterns woven into the fabric of human history, found in Mesopotamian art, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and even pre-Columbian artifacts. Are these just artistic interpretations, or are they whispers from a forgotten age, echoing the presence of visitors from the future or advanced civilizations lost to the sands of time? Mainstream academia often dismisses these anomalies as mere coincidence or primitive artistic expression, but the sheer consistency of the handbag motif across vast geographical and temporal distances demands a deeper look. Could these aren't just mere pouches, but sophisticated tools, devices, or even containers of knowledge and power far beyond our current comprehension? Perhaps they held energy cells, ritual batteries, or technology so advanced it has simply vanished from our historical record. Some researchers even point to depictions of lightning coils or electric trees in ancient Mesopotamian art, sparking the radical idea of a forgotten energy network powered by these very handbag devices.
Thinks that the bags were used as gravity devices to keep the ancient astronauts' feet firmly planted on the ground.
These aren't just wild theories. They're invitations to re-examine what we thought we knew about human history. These symbols might be profound clues, pointing to a deeper, stranger story, where the lines of time blur, where advanced technology is lost, and where ancient art encodes secrets waiting to be uncovered. Whether rooted in fact or fascinating fantasy, these theories add thrilling layers to the handbag mystery, pushing us to explore beyond the comfortable confines of conventional understanding. Enter Graham Hancock, a renowned writer and explorer who has dedicated his career to challenging the traditional narrative of human civilization. Hancock posits a provocative idea. What if an advanced civilization existed long before the ones we typically study? He suggests that the ubiquitous handbag symbol isn't random, but rather a signature, marking the presence of this lost culture's knowledge bearers.
I'll focus on the puzzling stone handbags originated in ancient Iran, which were also discovered in Mesopotamian temples.
These figures are often referred to as the seven sages in ancient Mesopotamian myths. According to these captivating myths, these sages emerged after a global catastrophe, appearing at a time when humanity was still in a wild, uncivilized state. They weren't conquerors, but teachers, imparting essential skills that laid the very foundations of civilization. They taught early peoples about writing, established laws, introduced farming techniques, and shared crucial crafts, essentially guiding humanity from a state of primordial existence to organized society. And here's the kicker. Hancock meticulously points out that in numerous ancient clay tablets and intricate carvings, these very wise figures are consistently depicted holding the same small, pouch-like handbag. In Hancock's compelling theory, this seemingly simple bag transcends its material form. It symbolizes the secret knowledge, the essential tools, and the advanced understanding that these sages carried, the very essence of their ability to uplift and guide nascent humanity. The repeated depiction of this symbol alongside figures of immense wisdom and civilizing influence paints a powerful picture, a lost golden age, perhaps even a global network of knowledge encapsulated within the enigmatic form of the ancient handbag. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.